everybody? Jolt here from the Token Minorities, and I am here with the NPL Season 3 Playoff Semifinal match featuring my Toronto Staraptors against Cheeseboy628's Phoenix Sunkern. Now, if you did not see my team building video for this battle, please go do so now so that you understand the thought process behind the team, as my plays are very much indicative of my thought process when building the team. They are not plays that I normally would have made in a standard OU match if I were bringing standard sets. So definitely go take a look at that video. It'll be linked in the description below. I highly recommend you do that before you watch this battle. Now, looking at team preview, I'll go ahead and give a brief overview of what my team is, just in case you're too lazy to go watch the team building video or you forgot from the video from yesterday. I am running an anti-lead Dragonite, which will absolutely be my lead in this game. I have a Cursed Sleep Powder Venusaur, or Mega Venusaur rather. I have a Nasty Plot Porygon Z, Dual Screens Rotom Heat, a Cosmic Power Wish Passing Clefable, and a Payapa Berry Gothitelle Lure Terrakion. So the overall concept of this team is to overpressure Gothitelle to where Gothitelle is not an asset to Cheeseboy's team this week. In both of the previous matchups I had against Cheese, Gothitelle absolutely destroyed my life because I had to play so carefully around it. So in building this team, I decided that my best strategy was to make sure Gothitelle could not determine the outcome of the game, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. So looking at team preview, he brought actually the same 6 mons that he brought in my second matchup with him in the regular season, in that he brought Mega Medicham, Bisharp, Porygon 2, Togekiss, Scolipede, and Gothitelle. Now, due to the fact that he has been known to reuse teams in the past and maybe slightly change movesets, I'm expecting these to be roughly the same movesets as what he brought in my second matchup with him, in that he'll have Adamant Mega Medicham as per the usual, Focus Sash Bisharp, Eviolite Porygon 2, probably Special Defensive. Togekiss is likely a Defogger this time, as I did bring dual screens last time, so I would not be surprised if he's bringing Defog instead of Ancient Power, but it's possible that he'll bring Ancient Power again, and we'll see what happens there if he does that. And then this is no doubt offensive Scolipede, and Gothitelle will be Choice Specs because there's really no reason for him to bring Choice Scarf in this matchup. So, as I mentioned in the team building process and already, I'm going to be leading with Dragonite in this game because it is an anti-lead set that has great options against Mega Medicham and Bisharp. I'm really hoping he leaves Mega Medicham, as if he leaves Bisharp and weakens my Dragonite with that, then I don't have many answers to Mega Medicham. I mean, there aren't switch-ins to Mega Medicham, but I'm going to have to play very carefully in order to take out Mega Medicham if Bisharp is his lead. But let's just go ahead and see what happens and jump into this battle. Unfortunately for me, he decides to lead off with Bisharp, which is fine, I guess, because I do have the superpower on this Dragonite, and I know I can take any 2 hits from this considering I have so much bulk investment in this. He does just lay his Stealth Rocks on turn 1, which is a good play for him because I do not have any means of hazard removal, and Stealth Rock are going to be very nice to wear down my Rotom Heat and put my Porygon Z in KO range from some of his priorities. So that was a good play on his part, but I am able to take out the Bisharp on turn 2, and I'm going to lose my Dragonite here to the Fake Out from Mega Medicham on turn 3. Now here, I'm faced with a little bit of a dilemma, as I don't have anything that can just come in and OHKO Mega Medicham. So I have to decide what my best play is in order to weaken this thing to the point where Terrakion can potentially sweep later on, as this Terrakion is meant to lure in Gothitelle with the Payapa Berry, take out the Gothitelle, and then hopefully be able to dish out another KO against a couple more of his mons later on. So it's kind of a tough predicament for me here, but what I decided to do was go into my Clefable. Now, some people might think that this was a poor play, as I needed Clefable at high health to have any chance of surviving any more hits in the future from Mega Medicham, but the fact of the matter is, Clefable was not going to be doing a whole lot in this game anyways, as I'm not a Stored Power set. If I did bring Cosmic Power Stored Power, I would not have brought in Clefable here, because I think Clefable could have actually swept his whole team later in the game. But I am Cosmic Power Moonblast, because I did not feel the need to bring Stored Power in this game when he has a Bisharp. It's kind of potentially a wasted move slot, so I brought Moonblast on this Clefable instead. Now, what I'm left with the decision here is, what's he going to do? Is he going to switch out, fearing my Moonblast, fearing that I might be able to take him out? Because if I did have enough offensive investment on this Clefable, I could OHKO Mega Medicham and still potentially survive the Zen Headbutt. I'm expecting him to not have Poison Jab on this Mega Medicham because I feel that Zen Headbutt and High Jump Kick, Bullet Punch, Fake Out is the best possible combination against my team due to my threat of Double Dance Porygon Z, and due to the fact that Zen Headbutt's an easy 2-hit KO on Clefable anyway, so I'm not expecting Poison Jab. If he did have Poison Jab, I would just go down here and be in a lot of trouble, but that was the assumption I was operating under. But I decided to stay in and just go for the Moonblast, because if I get the damage off on the Mega Medicham, it is then in range of, well, easily in range of Porygon Z, as I am EV to outspeed Adamant Mega Medicham, and it's also easily in range of my Terrakion's Aerial Ace. So that's going to be the plan here. and he just goes for the Zen Headbutt and does a lot of damage. So unfortunately, Michael Fable is not going to be living to see another day. And just a fun fact, it turns out that he got a max roll with the Zen Headbutt there at 74.1%, or nearly a max roll, and I got a minimum roll with my Moonblast, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, it wasn't really consequential to the match at all, but just funny fact. Anyway, he just takes me out with a Bullet Punch, revealing that he definitely does not have Poison Jab, and he's going to be double priority, and no doubt will have HJK for my other mons. So here I'm going to go into my Terrakion, and I can just go for the free Aerial Aces. Aerial Ace is one, going to take out the Medicham. It's also going to put the likely Togekiss switch into range of my Stone Edge. So Aerial Ace was by far my best play. No sense in predicting the Porygon 2 to come in. No sense in predicting the Togekiss to come in, as Aerial Ace does plenty of damage to where my other coverage moves can just take it out. So as he goes into Togekiss, I know he's just going to stay in, so I'm just going to take it right out with the Stone Edge. He might have thought I was a Choice Scarf variant at that point, but no, I'm definitely not Choice Scarf. Now here, the lure does work out. As he goes into his Gothitelle, just as expected, this is what he tried to do against me in the last matchup I had. He designed his Gothitelle such that he could trap and KO my Terrakion. Well, I designed my Terrakion such that I can basically trap and KO his Gothitelle, which is kind of funny. But here he brings this in, and I'm just going to reveal the X-Scissor, do 58% to it, and he's going to go straight for the Psychic as I reveal my Payapa Berry, and take a measly 73% from this, and I'm going to be able to KO the Gothitelle in the following turn with an X-Scissor. Now, a couple things could have happened here at this point in the game. He could have pulled the double into his Scolipede, which actually would have been his best play, considering I did just go for the safe X-Scissor. But that was also pretty risky on his end, as I very, very well could have gone for the Stone Edge if I believed my luck was not absolute trash. As Stone Edge probably was my best play in that situation, but I did not feel the need to make that play because Gothitelle was not going to be doing much else in this game anyways. Yeah, he could have potentially used it against my Mega Venusaur, but I thought that he would be thinking that Mega Medicham would be plenty enough to take care of Mega Venusaur, especially with Stealth Rock up. So that was my thought process there. That's why I went for X-Scissor, but I think my best play probably was to go for Stone Edge. I just wasn't poised to make that risk at this stage in the game, especially considering the circumstances of this game. So I am able to take out the Gothitelle with the X-Scissor, and now he has pretty much a free switch into whatever he wants, probably the Mega Medicham, but he does decide to go into the Scolipede this time, which is fine, as I do have a relatively good switch into this in my Mega Venusaur, as he'll have to go for a Protect, as this is likely an Adamant Scolipede to try to wall break my team a little bit, and I'm able to get my Mega Venusaur in for free. Now this play is the defining play of the entire match, unfortunately, for me, as you'll see here very soon. As I Mega Evolve and he goes for the Mega Horn, does 55%, that's fine. I have Synthesis, I have Sleep Powder. If I hit my Sleep Powder, I would have been able to recover up on the Scolipede and would have been in good shape to actually win this entire game. But I missed the Sleep Powder in this turn, and now my Mega Venusaur is actually useless, and Mega Venusaur had developed into a win condition in this game. As soon as his Togekiss and Gothitelle went down, Mega Venusaur was absolutely a win condition, as I had Synthesis, Curse, Facade, and Sleep Powder. If I hit the Sleep Powder on Scolipede, then from there, the next play would be, is he going to switch directly into Mega Medicham? I find it highly unlikely that he would try to switch directly into Mega Medicham, as he does not think Venusaur can really touch Scolipede, so why would he switch out? He will definitely stay in trying to burn Sleep turns and try to wear me down with Mega Horn that way. And that just seems like his most likely play. I believe his second best play would have been to go straight into Porygon 2 to scout what my moveset was. As I could have gone for a Leech Seed, and Leech Seed's not really going to help me too much against his Porygon 2, but it would be enough to where his Mega Medicham would be threatened. So I do not see him on the following turn, if that Sleep Powder were to hit, going directly into his Mega Medicham, as that would have been his only way to save himself at this point in the game, in my opinion. So just kind of thinking ahead at this point, if I hit the Sleep Powder, he goes into Scolipede, or he stays in Scolipede, tries to burn a turn of sleep. I get up a Synthesis. From there, I go for the Curse. He is not in any way expecting Curse, and as soon as I have +1 Curse, I easily survive a Zen Headbutt for Mega Medicham, and I easily take on this Scolipede 1v1. And if I'm at +1 defense with Mega Venusaur, I'm going to live the Zen Headbutt, I'm going to take out the Mega Medicham, and then Porygon Z sweeps his team. So that's really, really dumb, and I'm pretty mad about that, unfortunately. But that's Pokemon, and you can't always have things go your way, or you know how that goes. But yeah, we'll go ahead and continue. So I'm going to have to sack my Mega Venusaur here after missing the Sleep Powder, as there's really nothing more it can do in this game. It could potentially recover up on the Porygon 2, but it's not going to be easy to get set up again. So that's about all she wrote for Mega Venusaur, and now my only thing I have left for the Scolipede is this Rotom Heat, as I am able to survive any hit from it, bar Rock Slide, although I think I still can with my investment. But I'm just going to go for the Overheat, just because, in case you wanted to go to Mega Medicham. I really need to get rid of the Mega Medicham to have any chance to win this game. And he he goes for Tri Attack and gets the freeze, which is pretty lame as well. Now, in his narration, I know he said that this freeze with Tri Attack doesn't really matter that much because I do thaw out in a couple turns, but in reality it does matter a little bit because it reduces the durability of my screens. As I was a light clay Rotom Heat, and the more turns of Reflect that I have, the more of an opportunity Porygon Z has to do damage in this game. And while I don't know if it would have impacted the outcome, I think it definitely would have decreased differential. Not the differential matters in the playoffs, but saying that the freeze doesn't really matter in this case is not correct, unfortunately. But yeah, the freeze was kind of dumb, and I'm going to remain frozen as he goes for the recover and gets back up to full health. Now this also was pretty big, because if he was not at full health, then I would be able to KO it directly with Terrakion if need be. And at 100% Terrakion cannot OHKO Porygon 2, so that also was pretty important. But now I'm going to go for the light screen as my last ditch effort to set up my sweep with Porygon Z. And I'm going to go for the Thunderbolt, hoping he'll take me out, but he's a smart player, and just goes for the Thunderbolt, trying to delay some turns of screen. So that was kind of a misplay on my part. I should have just gone straight into Terrakion to sack it, and then try to set up with Porygon Z immediately. But the fact remains that light screen was not the most important screen here, and I probably should have just taken the Reflect and gone into Porygon Z and tried to do work there. But I don't know. It was really a tough situation at this point. I needed that Sleep Powder onto the Scolipede in order to win the game, and unfortunately I missed, and that's the nature of Pokemon, and that's going to actually end my season, which is pretty lame in my opinion. But yeah, not much else I can really say about that. I am able to take out the Porygon 2 with my Porygon Z, which is pretty nice, but now the Reflect is gone, and I'm just a sitting duck, literally, for the Mega Medicham to blow me back. I was kind of hoping he would get greedy and go for the high jump kick there. Maybe he'll just, miss on my incoming switch into Rotom Heat, as it'll die to Stealth Rock, and then he would keep going to Crash. But unfortunately, that doesn't quite happen, and I do fall to Cheeseboy for the third time this season, 2-0. We had the same score all three matches. First game, I definitely got outplayed, and second game, I felt I should have won, but, a couple pieces of RNG didn't go my way. I'm not going to really stress about that match too much, as it wasn't really consequential to anything for me, as far as my record or winning my division was concerned. But this game was pretty sucky, as I certainly felt like I had the game in the bag. All I needed to do was hit the Sleep Powder, and all credit to Cheeseboy for the win, and all credit to him, as he is an amazing player. He definitely could. He's capable of making the only play that would have saved him from Sleep Powder, Curse, Synthesis, Mega Venusaur by going directly into Mega Medicham as I went for Synthesis against the Scolipede. But I do not think he would have made the play. I think there's a very low probability that he would have, and if he didn't make that play, I was nearly guaranteed to win this game, bar any additional critical hits or hacks of sorts. So yeah, that's how our season's gonna end, guys. And I'm sorry that I lose in the first round of the playoffs or the semifinals of the playoffs for the second straight season, but at least in this time, I felt like I played the best I could, and I was in the position to win. And sadly, RNG just decided, unfortunately, I cannot do that this season. So that's about all she wrote. But congratulations to Cheeseboy628 on advancing to the finals of the NPL. There he'll be facing Trev and the Atlanta Braviaries, who are the team that I played the first week. We actually got a nice little W against them the first week of the season, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, definitely looking forward to that game, and I hope you are as well. And by the time this video is uploaded, that battle probably will have already taken place, so I will link that battle in the description below as well. So I hope you enjoyed, guys. I will be back for Season 4 of the NPL, and we will have essentially a new roster entirely. So hope you're looking forward to that, and I will see you all next time. Peace.